Oh, you know what I was going to say? Another
Every
group.
platform has a different purpose.
Another group that helped me a little bit, and I'll get into it a little bit more later. It's actually very interesting, the politics of it. But there's a website called reteaparty.com, and they're these kids. They're the libertarian, like young guys, early 20s, who started this website on their own, and all they do is work on it all day. And Fox News used their banner actually first, before the Tax Day Tea Party. And what happened was Michelle, I don't want to, say it was Michelle Malkin for sure, but she was aligned with the Tax Day Tea Party people, and they actually eventually kind of pushed my friends out of the way, and they even covered up the name of their website but still used their logo until they finally started using the other Tax Day Tea Party logo. And my friends don't have any animosity towards it because all they care about is the facts on the ground, and that they're the ones that are going to really help with the July 4th Tea Party at Santa Monica.
Actually, if I 1 second, the problem with the party getting involved, and it's funny you bring that up, is clearly they bring the media with them, but also I find that the Libertarian Party tends to let people do their own thing, whereas the major parties will not let you do that. Just remember, the media is not your friend. You're talking to someone who's had her name misspelled on pretty much every website I've ever been mentioned on. So if you Google me, you're not going to find any stories about me. You're just going to find the stories that I've written. That's the games that people play. That's what they'll do. No, I don't have his name on my name.
No, the media. The media
isn't right. So it's that much more difficult, and it's actually really easy to do that when it comes to search engines and things like that. To just sort of, oops, sorry, we did this by mistake, and it's really easy to gloss these things over, and that's the problem with the mainstream media.
We're trying to be agents of change, and the media is an agent of uniformity.
Agents of sane.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So now, just let's say if you guys have read these questions, so you feel free to skip around. But the next one I got is, how much of the growth do you think was due to members finding you versus you finding them to outreach? What's the kind of...
So one thing that we did is we started sending out weekly newsletters with not just kind of facts about the Tea Party and this, that, and the other thing, but also like news events. And
I'm sorry, what was that?
News events and opportunities
to
meet other people, and it turns into sort of a social thing, right? And so, and we would always put on the top of it, please forward widely and all this other junk. And so I got a lot of people off of referrals. And when I knew it kind of took off was when I started getting people who were saying, oh, yeah, well, we heard about this in some user group on Google or what have you. And I'm going, I never posted that. It was second, the higher order terms. It's a second and third order communication that somebody talked to me, posted it.
Yeah.
Somebody that saw that posted that somewhere else, right? And so it sort of became viral at that point. And that was so the communication. I mean, I would. It after a while it became kind of effortless.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what you were saying earlier, Ron. Is that almost like if you build it, they will come. You didn't have to do a lot of outreach. Is that right?
Meetup gives you a lot of tools. When somebody joins, they get an automatic email, and you can make that email in advance. It is very viral. It gives them a chance to RSVP. They don't just have to RSVP for themselves. They can RSVP with a group of people, and you can set all the parameters. You can make them answer questions, all sorts of stuff. The main thing is that April 15th, it wasn't a weekend. It was a weekday. Everybody was kind of pissed off anyways because they had to pay their taxes. The media was really pumping it. Like, I do appreciate that. I don't really like the mainstream media, but they were pumping that day up. And even MSNBC was, because they were talking bad about it. I mean, just as long as they mention us is all I care about. But it was, we got a lot of people just because they were driving by. Our main emphasis was making it very visible to the public. I'm a big advocate of if you're going to have a protest, make it so as many people as possible can see it. So,
yeah, that's great. Thanks. I'm going to credit Terry for giving me this clip. This is pretty typical, the kind of stuff. And this is like a Janine Garofalo type of a comment here. This is where did you get this one, Terry? random links. It's here, let me get the right light on it here. Here's a guy called J.B. Kennedy who defines teabaggers. The noun. He's pretending he's a dictionary guy. It says teabaggers, noun, plural. The ludicrous racists who foolishly chose the pretense of protesting government spending. And then he goes, blah, blah.
How dare we? How dare we?
Yeah, it's that same thing, Janine Garofalo. Yeah. It's just,
yes, I am racist. I admit
you protest government spending and you're racist?
No, I'm racist against white people. White people were at the protests, so I'm racist against them. Yeah, really. No, sure you can.
No, there's
I'm Caucasian, so hate those white people. I mean, it's all I can say to not get in trouble. Apparently,
well,
I hate Janine Garofalo.
He goes on to.
No, she's Italian.
Italiano.
As I am, so I'm allowed. Yeah, she's probably mixed. Yeah.
No,
the name is Italian.
There's not much more to the quote. He goes on to protest the war, and then he says, and the sacrifice of the lives of a generation of young Americans. As part of the Bush legacy, quote, Tea Party, unquote, dishonesty was compulsory. So he's just basically saying it's a bunch of radical fringe people. So maybe there's a question to be had about that. I want to just ask it for the record. I mean, I was there at Santa Monica, and I didn't see one sign or one attitude that was, remotely against Obama in a way that was like defamatory of his race or, some kind of personal or racial kind of thing. All the signs seem to be about spending and freedom. I mean,
does anybody else think that whole media vibe was to sort of tie, again, the Tea Party is closer to the Republican Party? I mean, it seems like the media has a goal of making sure that people associate those two things, and that's not where this began. So I think a lot of it had to do with Santelli. So